The IPMS Journal, they always do one issue of strictly nothing but the Nationals, which is very cool. I get to see a lot of models, and there's actually fantastic model builds in here that's just off the charts. But there's one in particular that held my interest a lot, and that's this one right here. That's the Top Gun diorama that they were given to Birdie. I think that's just a fabulous diorama. Upside down everything. Would love to see this in person. Hopefully they got the MIG in there. But anyway, that's just I think very clever, very funny, and that represents an excellent scene from the movie Top Gun. But anyway, that's just absolutely phenomenal, I think. Of course, all the models in here are fantastic, but that one just intrigues me to no end. But anyway, that's in the new IPMS journal. P40. I basically wanted to show everyone before I really started slinging paint on it. I did some post shading on it. And when you post shade, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. And I know some people like to do real heavy on the lines and actually draw out the lines with the airbrush. I like to do it another way. If you can see how I did it, it's more faded out past the line. I think when you do it this way, it changes the color of the paint, but it actually I think gives it a different effect. It ain't just strictly, you're not focusing on the panel lines, and it actually fades out the panel line where it's just not so drastic when you put the paint on. If that makes sense, I just think it makes it I just think it just gives it a different effect anyway, and just a different way to appreciate. And then you can just go back crazy on it and just go everywhere. So hopefully, and I wanted to show everyone that before I got to paint. I want to probably do the underside first, which is basically one color. It's like a light gray blue-ish kind of color. And then I'll do the two tones there of basically a khaki drab and a light brown. Anyway, and I'll probably have to post shade because it's actually getting two colors, so one of the colors may filter out, some of the pre-shading, but anyway, it just helps out. And then I'll do probably cockpit later on after I get the base coats on, so I can handle it and all that. But anyway, that's where I stand on that. So hopefully a little more paint and I can continue on. One thing though, I ran into a little bit of a problem. That's the canopy. Canopy's not a problem. Got to mask it off and glue it on, but I'll get that on once I get the cockpit painted. But one thing I wanted to show everyone is this canopy that comes with this kit is an N version, and to make the Fifanella is an F version. So as you can see, the canopy here is for the N, and that means you had to cut out the entire back to put the N version. So for the F, it just has windows right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to the shed, see if I can find a P40 that's got the windows, and I'll just rob it out of there and put it on here. Or I should have spare kits to do it, but if I can't find one, what I'll do is I'll just take some clear styrene and cut them out and put some styrene on the make the ribs for the canopy frame on the side here, and then fix it up. So that's pretty much, I'll either do one or the other, just depends on if I can find an extra kit part, but that's no big deal, easy fix. Usually sometimes you get like that's basically an F model in an N model box, and you might be able to get usually get enough parts to do either or. But this time the AMT one is just strictly an N technically, but so I'll jump that bridge when I get there. I basically want to concentrate on getting most of it painted, and then detail painting all that. But anyway, that's where I officially stand on the P40. The X-Wing, it actually goes together really good, just like the build and play kit. And I did have to take a little planning here to get the lights in. And I glued them on, and I forgot to show everyone. The locator pins that go in here, you can leave some on, but right through here, you basically had to cut them all out. That's just to get the LED to fit. And I drilled out the engine exhaust here, put in a 3mm orange LED, and they all light. Hopefully I'll be able to show you all in the next one how everything, what it looks like orange. I've seen them red, I've seen them orange. I kind of like the more of that orange look. It just gives it, I think, a unique look to it. But anyway, got all the engines glued on. I'm going to have to go back in and just apply a little bit of putty where I got the 5-minute epoxy, a little thick on there, and I couldn't get it to shut all the way. I'll just add a little putty on there and sand it down, and I'll be good to go. Cockpit, I did get the fiber optics in. I got them 5-minute epoxied in. I got the back window in, which I'm going to mask off so I don't get any paint on it. And then I'm going to fish all them, put some LEDs, heat shrink tube them, get them all in there, and it'll basically be green and cool white in there just to give it a little bit of flair. The pilot, just a cheap World War II pilot that I found in the shed. I basically sanded off the chest part. I'll put some ABS epoxy scope on here to redo the flight suit. I think I'm going to go with an alien version of a pilot. In the toys, there's one called an ATSI. I guess that's the pilot's name. He's like an alien, looks like a catfish. So I may kind of enlong his face a little bit and put the resistance style helmet on there. And he fits really good, which I probably can't get him in there with one hand, but anyway, I'll show everyone once I get him sculpted. Just kind of want to get away from the male, or I may add, would like to do a female one, but I may have to dig deeper in the shed out there and see if I can find a 48 scale female pilot. But anyway, probably go with an alien just to be different and to make this just a unique model in general. But that's what I got going on today, doing some wiring duty on the X-Wing here. Plus I got to do, and I will repaint the whole thing. I want to get all the basic construction done, sanding, and then I can shoot primer on it and then start fresh when I start painting it, and then I'll show everyone what colors I used on that. So that's what I got going on doing the X-Wing. Painting duty begins on the P40, and we were looking at the Top Gun diorama from the IPMS Journal, so stay tuned for the next exciting episode.